first two parts I was doing. I guess this would be part 3. But like I've stated before, on the internet, well, on YouTube, there's nothing really about Fx37 or Fx35 in 09 to 2010 about really doing nothing on the mechanical side. I think it might have been something about a steering wheel or something like that, maybe, but it isn't really too much. But I'm gonna give you yet another tool that you can use when you're disconnecting the engine out of this truck. Now, even though I don't have the engine out the truck yet, all I gotta do is hook up my hoist and lift it out. It's ready to go. Now, am I gonna have to take the hood off to get the engine out? I'm not sure, but I guess when I hook it up, I'll cross that road when I get to it. But I did most of the difficult tasks yesterday, where disconnecting the drive shaft and disconnecting the exhaust and taking down the heat shield. And it's also a frame bracket that's on the rear of the engine. I think it has 12mm bolts in it, and I disconnected that also. And then I undid, of course, the transmount bolts, and that did it. So I'm done with this side. So it's really just hanging in here. As you can see, if I give it a tug, you can see it's loose with the vibration. So it is ready to come out. Now on the engine side, I disconnected the AC lines that runs to the air compressor, and I also disconnected the transmission lines. And I'm thinking this is the fuel line. I mean, it's the only one I've seen so far, and it's running to the fuel rail. So I'm thinking that's the entrance of the fuel. That's the only thing I've seen so far. This engine is so tight, but I did disconnect the heater hose. There's this one of them right here. And then this is the actual vacuum hose from the brake booster into the back of the engine. I disconnected it. And right here, where the evap solenoid, well, not solenoid, but the evap valve, where you obviously send your smoke tester through to test for evap leak, it's a hose that runs from, of course, the fuel tank, well, the evap canister, and it runs up here, so I disconnected that. And you know, just little things like the mass airflow sensors, and on this car it has 2. Why, I don't know, but it also has 2 throttle bars. I guess that increases horsepower because it's a pretty quick truck from my experiences of riding in them. But one difficult issue is this harness actually goes in the inside of the vehicle, and it has 3 connectors that go to the ECM. And to get this out is difficult. Well, of course, I had a dashboard down and everything, but if you just doing like a regular engine swap, you would just take the glove compartment out and it'll give you space. But this is the hole where it came out of right there, and it's right behind the fuse box. And this is where the battery housing is, or where the battery will sit. So that's where you get that from. And it also bolted, well, it slid onto these 2 pieces right here. As you can see, it slid onto those 2 pieces. And this is it right here. These are the clips you push to release it from there. And then this harness swings away. There's also a connector that meets here. This connector goes to this one, which is going to this to the front of the vehicle, like things like headlights and these fuse boxes, and you know, just electronics. This fuse box, other electronics under the hood. So that one harness goes to those. So today I'm gonna try to lift the engine out. Like I said, I did most of the groundwork yesterday, so that's where I'm at with it. So I'm trying to think of something else I can tell y'all to help y'all, but I really can't. I noticed too, when I lift the engine out, when I get it lifted out, because as you can see, it's nowhere you really can grip onto it, because the intake is plastic, so you know you don't want to grip on it. You don't want to grip onto a throttle body, or you don't want to grip onto your drive accessories and nothing like that. So I think I'm gonna go for the exhaust, which have heat shields on them. I think I'm gonna take them loose and see if I can get a chain on them and try to get them out of the car. So that's what I'm gonna do now. And then when I get through, I'll come back and let y'all know if I got it out or what steps I had to take to get it out. All right. This is the outer part. I should have really been had it out, but I had to struggle. It was rusty on the bottom, but I got it out. One thing I did face with this one, this catalytic converter, it wouldn't get past that drive shaft. I mean, past the intermediate shaft that the rack pinion sits on top of. I couldn't get it past that. So I thought taking it out, taking the drive shaft, taking the intermediate shaft out the way would help, but it didn't. So ultimately, I ended up taking the catalytic converter off. It's a bolt. Let me see if this one still got it. And well, it's a bolt here. It's rusted. As you can see, it's rusted on, and I couldn't get it off. So what I ended up doing was I had to cut it here to get this catalytic converter off, because I had already got these bolts out, and then these bolts I had already got out also. So the catalytic converter still is good. I just gotta get another oxygen sensor. I'm gonna have to weld this bracket, or I may just get another bracket from the dealership after I get this one off. I may mistake and rip the wire on the oxygen sensor. That's what you do when you struggling with something for so long, and it's just one part in particular that's keeping you from taking the motor out. It's the oxygen sensor wiring right here. But anyway, it came out. It's the only thing I got damaged is the oxygen sensor. I can buy another one of those and put it in. And then either I can buy this plate piece or frame piece right here, what goes to the bracket, what goes to the catalytic converter. I can just buy that over again, but that is gonna be a problem. If I had to do it again, I would say take off these cats, but it was so hard to get to these top ones. That's why I listened to do it. This motor is this truck is from up north. As you can see now, it's very rusty, so it was very hard to take some of the bolts loose. And especially, like I said, this one right here, it never did come loose. But I do get it out. And as far as removal, it really wasn't that bad. Except for, like I said, that one part was stumped me. But other than that, though, it was pretty smooth. And I think I've already pretty much explained most everything. I would say if I had to do it again, take off the cats from the manifold and remove everything like you normally would. Your coolant hoses, your harness, your wire harness. Of course, now you would know you remove the oxygen sensor, because that's obviously part of the O2 sensor that was still connected to the motor. And what else? And this was the fuel pressure. This was the fuel line that I was talking about earlier. So that was the fuel line. That's the only fuel line you get. Now this bracket was in a way, so I kind of had to maneuver past that a little bit. Oh yeah, and I did have to take the transmission bracket off too, because it was in the way. So I couldn't do it with it in the way. But all in all, it's out. Y'all got any questions, just leave it in the comment section. I'll try to respond to them as quick as I can. I know I probably haven't explained everything. It's getting a little later now. I'm sorry for the wind blowing, but it is out. So that job did. I think now all I had to do is what I was talking about the other time. I had to get this harness out, take it off this one, and put it on the other truck. And that's probably gonna be the next step that I'm gonna take. And after that, I start probably putting parts on the other truck. Yeah, I start putting parts back on the other truck. And that'll be pretty much it. Yep, so I did have to remove the AC lines, as you can see, and they came off in sections. Well, not in sections, but you know, it got secure locks on there. You want to remove it. I didn't. I just took it away from the compressor and I moved it. This reservoir has a hose that connects to the power steering pump, the return hose. I had to remove that. And I had to move these power steering hoses out of the way so I can get the motor out. Other than that, I think that's just about covers everything. You know about the heater hoses that I had to take out. So other than that, I think that just about covers everything. All right, till next time, peace.